Ang pinaka-essence kasi ng marriage, many people think there's a religious dimension to it. And that's good. We respect that, no? But mostly in all countries, the dimension of marriage for most people is the legal dimension, the legal aspect. And legally, when we are born by our families, by our parents, no, we're related kasi by blood. And the law recognizes that we are related to our parents because we are of their bloodline. Now, when you marry another person, sabi ni Justice Kennedy, the magic of marriage is that it transforms strangers into family. So it is the law, it is society, it is the government which says, okay, you are two strangers, you're not related by blood, but because you marry each other, now we will create a legal connection, a familial connection. So kapag nagkasal yung dalawa, yung mga magulang nila, mother-in-law, father-in-law na nila, o yung mga kapatid nila, brother-in-law, sister-in-law. So the magic of marriage is to transform two strangers into a family. And the discrimination happens when straight couples can choose to marry and transform their relationship from being a stranger into a family na may legal connection versus gay couples or other kinds of couples na dalawa namang matandang tao, dalawa namang may pera, dalawa namang may kakayahang magdesisyon. Wala silang tinatapakang ibang tao. There's no minors involved here. It's not pedophilia. It's not non-consensual. There is no violation of any rights. Pareho silang two consenting adults and they want to transform their relationship as well from strangers into family, but they cannot, unlike the straight couples who are allowed to do that.
Ayan. Tapos yung sinasabi mo kanina na divisive, no? That also is not unique dito sa Pilipinas, di ba? You're not the only one. Kasi pati sa US, di ba? Before they got Obergefell, that decision na yun, hati-hati din sila. Hindi naman monolithic kasi yung movement. Like any movement, di ba? Maraming maraming face, maraming approach. And sa states, nag-aaway sila eh. Nung una, mga 70s, di ba? Pag nagkatalo ng kaso sa mga district court, nagagalit sila. Sabi ko sa'yo, wag na nating isampay ang kaso. Ngayon, nagkasa-setback yung movement, di ba? But the other,
yes,
saying, there's no such thing as a setback pag nagpa-file ng kaso.
As early as 1970, I think, if I remember correctly, may nag-file in a state court, but it lost and then wala ngang decision na written to justify. It's like a minute resolution. No? So law students and lawyers would know na napaka ikli or wala masyadong discussion on the merits, dinismiss lang yung kaso. So they started it as early as 1970s, the advocates, and then they had same-sex marriage legalized 40 to 50 years later. But it wasn't the second case, no? Hindi siya parang first case 1970, the Obergefell, the winning case, the second case. Madaming cases in between, and I expect naman, of course, I'm not the only LGBT rights advocate in the Philippines. What I hope is when I file the case, even if it loses, and I expected naman, no? Of course, you hope for the best, you prepare for the worst. The expectation is I would lose. There's just a hope or a chance na it would win. But based on the expectation that it would lose, it would still move the movement forward in the sense na other people would hopefully file their own cases in the future. That's one. And then second, in my humble opinion, no, I think since 2015, mas nagka-movement naman on same-sex marriage discourse, which is noong 2016, that was an election year, naging election issue or ginawang election issue ng media ang same-sex marriage. And then come 2019, nung may oral arguments, naging election issue pa din siya. At up until now, parang na siya staple or default question on candidates whether or not they support same-sex marriage. Because I think before 2015, it was being asked sometimes, but it wasn't like a default or staple question. So ngayon, na siya expected na siya ng kabataan, expected na siya ng Gen Z, ng millennials, to know whether or not a candidate supports LGBT rights in general, but specifically SOGI bill, anti-discrimination, and same-sex marriage or the legalization of thereof.
All right. So, anong magiging difference for other people will file their own case? Sabi mo.
So ako kasi, di ba, syempre, Prof, you already wrote about it and I think you made statements about it. My case kasi was very bold or reckless, as others would say, because I didn't have all of the ingredients, both legal and political. No, legal, we all know it's really about standing. I'm sure you want to talk about that. But second, yung political, yung parang I'm not really the best test case. Kasi sa Amerika, when they won sa Obergefell, the case of Obergefell was very sympathetic. Yung parang nakakaawa, talagang mag-relate yung common tao, yung common American with the story of Obergefell na namatay yung kanyang spouse, they wanted to be recognized sa death certificate, they have been together for more than 40 to 50 years. So ako nga, I'm just a single individual. I don't have a partner yet, and I did not even attempt to marry a partner. Wala naman akong 20 to 30 years of a relationship. So politically, yung story ko is weaker or the weakest. But I still filed it because ayun nga, I thought the ball needed rolling. Like sa USA, when they filed it in the 1970s, ang expectation ko din sa Pilipinas, it's gonna be a long game. Meaning, it needs to start because, so this is outside of the legalities na, di ba? Because I need to radicalize or I need to inform the youth and those of my generation na this is something we need to fight for. And eventually, they will fight for it themselves, lalo na yung mga kabataan. Of course, I'm still here to fight for the things that I want to fight in the way I want to fight for those things. But because no movement has won naman alone, I expected more people and future generations to be able to do their own thing when it comes to forwarding same-sex marriage.
Ayan. Sabi mo nga, I might want to say something, no? Bakit ka walang standing, sabi ng Supreme Court? Pasensya na sa audience na medyo technical minsan yung usapan dito kasi it's a case. So, wala daw standing si Attorney Jess.
When we say standing, di ba, Prof, it means na when I ask the court to vindicate my rights or to protect me, standing means meron ba akong interest or meron ba akong stake in filing that case, no? Am I the proper one? So it's like, pag may rape case, are you the family or are you the victim or are you related to the victim? Do you have an interest in filing the case? Now, of course, merong mga amendments as to who can file rape cases, etc. But in general, kung ano ka lang, pusisero or chismosa, hindi ka naman pwedeng mag-file against the alleged rapist and say, dapat ikulong nyo yan. Ang mas may stake or standing talaga, in that sense, no, as an analogy lang, is the victim or the family. So ako naman, when it comes to same-sex marriage, yung interpretation ng Supreme Court in the decision is that there needed to be an actual couple. So that's the most obvious. Kung gusto mo magpakasal, kailangan meron kang kasamang magpapakasal or na gusto ding magpakasal, tapos hindi kayo inallow ng Philippine government or ng civil registrar na mag-file ng marriage license. So ako, I was just alone. But let's clarify din, Prof, later kasi technicalities nga, di ba? Later kasi may petition in intervention eh. And I think we need to talk about that. But as to me, so ako kasi wala naman akong boyfriend at that time, and until now, wala naman akong boyfriend. Hindi naman ako pumunta ng Las Vegas, hindi naman ako pumunta ng ibang bansa to try na magpakasal and then magpakasal din locally. So sabi ng Supreme Court, I am not the proper person to file the case. Hindi naman nila sinabing bawal ang same-sex marriage. Ang sabi lang ng Supreme Court in their decision is a future party or a different person na may interest or stake should be the one filing it, not me.
Okay. May nag-intervene nga na nag-attempt magpakasal sa Pilipinas, right? May couple na na-deny ng marriage license. And
dalawa yun. Dalawa yung couples na yun, Prof. Kasi sa Philippines, it might not be well known, but there are progressive churches. So we have the Metropolitan Community Church, we have the LGBTS Christian church. So there are churches. So ang Catholicism kasi is just one aspect of Christianity. And in the USA, there are also progressive churches there that recognize same-sex marriage based on their own religion, no? Na in terms of Christianity, they don't think it's forbidden or disallowed. So sa Philippines, actually, meron tayong minority na churches, na Christian churches who believe the same. And they perform commitment ceremonies. So these are symbolic. Symbolic lang, walang legal effect kasi nga hindi pa recognize ang legal na same-sex marriage. But religiously, because they have their religious freedom, when two gays or lesbians approach these churches, they will perform a rite or a commitment ceremony, a blessing. Kasi di ba like si Pope Francis, sinabi niya, but this is blessing not in the context of marriage, no? Sabi ni Pope Francis, the church should be able to bless same-sex couples as well. Blessing meaning yung grace ni God, yung favor ni God or prayer from God. Ang blessing na sinasabi ko naman here dun sa Christian churches is it's just blessing them and anointing or parang celebrating their union based on their own belief na their God allows that and for them to come together. So may mga gantong churches, and itong couples na nag-marry under the Christian church, which is just a symbolic marriage, wanted to legalize it under the law din. Kasi nga sabi nila, discriminatory, matagal na din kami nagsasama, we want to formalize it, but we're not allowed. So sige, Attorney Jess, na-meet nila ako or they contacted me when I filed the case, sabi nila, can you help us? Sama kami sa case mo kasi gusto namin yan. Yan talagang gusto namin, yan ang pinaglalaban namin. Actually, mas nauna pa sila kaysa sa akin ipaglaban ng same-sex marriage way back 2012, way back 2011, from Baguio to Quezon City. Meron na silang maliit na movement or na community who want to legalize same-sex marriage. But ano din sila, they are the minority sa LGBT community who want to focus on the anti-discrimination bill. So sila same-sex marriage. So nung nag-file ako, sabi nila, can you help us? So what I did was to tell them, kailangan mapahiya muna kayo. Kasi I knew na baka sabihin ng Supreme Court din, wala din naman silang standing if they did not attempt to apply for a marriage license sa civil registrar. So sabi ko, in-explain ko, naku, pasensya na kayo but for you to file a case, kailangan, quote-unquote, mapahiya muna kayo, ma-embarrass kayo. You will need to try to file for marriage license and then i-deny kayo or mapapahiya kayo dun sa civil registrar. Which for them, they were fine with it. So they did it. Nag-fill out sila ng marriage license application form na dina-download from the NSO or PSA online. Tapos, they tried to file it physically sa Quezon City Civil Registrar. And then, that was the basis for them to intervene in the case. So, technically, yung kaso ko actually was already bigger. Me plus one gay couple and one lesbian couple. Ang unfortunate lang, and I think this is something that you will have questions about, Prof. The Supreme Court didn't really talk about the petition in intervention. Parang the Supreme Court was very dismissive in terms of acknowledging na may intervention or saying the intervention is invalid, which we had arguments sa aming memorandum to say na the petition does not die. Kunwari ako wala akong standing. Ang sabi kasi ng Supreme Court, pag nawala daw yung original na kaso, yung nag-intervene, mamamatay na din yung kaso nila. Pero there were jurisprudence already in 2019 or before that. Si Justice Perlas Bernabe ang nagsulat pa nito and we cited her case or we cited her ponente, her decision na the intervention can survive even if the original case fails. So the point is, may nag-intervene and I think the Supreme Court should have entertained the intervention if hindi man ako yung gusto nilang i-entertain. So I said I was openly gay. Hindi naman diniscuss or hindi siya masyado kinonsider ng Supreme Court that my open admission that I was openly gay is an important factor in my standing because that will put me into a class of people that are actually discriminated by the law. So I felt that was my standing. But yung reflection ko is, ang daming unfair expectations on my part. Admittedly, I was a first year lawyer noong 2015 when I filed the case, and I was only 4 years lawyer noong 2019 when there was oral arguments. I don't think I needed to be an expert. Parang na-expect nila may backer ako or merong malaking tao behind me. That's why I filed the case. I was just actually like Notting Hill, no? I was just like a simple boy asking for the court to look at my kind of people. Especially me, kasi nga ako naman, syempre madami tayong pinanggagalingan at hugot. But in relation with the people I represent, which is very diverse, no? And I don't think I speak for everyone. But for the people who go through the same experiences as me, I thought it was unfair na to focus on the fact that I'm a lawyer na filing the case more than I was a normal citizen plus a gay man as a petitioner. Mas may tanong sila sa pagiging lawyer ko, or the case was more affected because I was a lawyer as well, rather than me as a gay man petitioning the court to remedy the violations.
You were hoping for the best and preparing for the worst. So the worst happened in the sense na talo eh. What's the ano ngayon? What's the remedy? Anong gagawin niyo? Anong gagawin mo?
Well, in Quezon City, there is a silver lining, or there's a ray of hope. There is a very innovative ordinance. I'm sure this is the first. And award actually si Quezon City ng innovative legislation for this. They passed the right to care ordinance. So this right to care ordinance allows gay couples or lesbian couples or LGBT couples to apply for a right to care card. They will go to trainings, seminar or screenings. But eventually, ang point nitong right to care is when you have this card, in hospitals in Quezon City, public or private, they cannot discriminate against LGBT couples. Meaning, kung may na-comatose na gay partner, can the gay partner be removed from the hospital room? Without this ordinance, they can. Because again, without marriage, only the family, only the siblings are allowed in the hospital room to make decisions or to care for the person who cannot make a decision for themselves. Kung comatose ka, kung unconscious, or you need a life-saving care or decision to be made. Now, with the right to care ordinance, the partner, the life partner, or the one who has been there with the gay couple or the lesbian couple for 20, 30, 40 years can now make medically important decisions for their partner without being excluded. So, this is just a small part of the bundle of rights of marriage. Hindi pa natin napag-usapan nga, Prof, di ba? Like, aside sa transforming strangers into family, ano ba ang meron sa marriage? But since marriage is a bundle of rights, there are many rich gay couples and rich lesbian couples who can already access a lot of their rights kasi meron silang lawyers na they can pay to make a contract for them, make a will and testament, make a contract of agency and other contracts that would approximate or try to approximate some of the rights of marriage. So itong right to care ordinance, this is free to any social class na lesbian gay couple. They will be given a contract or a template, and then they can sign it, they can have it notarized, and that will act as their SPA or health proxy, parang health contract, na they can make decisions for each other, among other things. Basta yun ang pinaka-basic. So, as you mentioned kanina, when you introduced me, I'm now in the barangay. I'm hoping to replicate that, but also to level it up. So, in other countries, may tinatawag na love contract. So, I'm hoping na if ever, let's see, baka kasi may makatunog na mga conservatives dito sa show nyo, di ba? Biglang, maharang tayo. But a love contract ordinance would hope to pass an ordinance that will provide queer couples with a contract template covering the bundle of rights that can be approximated without marrying. So, this is available not just to queer couples, but to straight couples. Kasi di ba, Prof, madami tayong mga live-in or mga cohabiting or common law spouse, quote-unquote. 5 years na kayo nasa same bahay, matagal na kayo magkasama, lalaki-babae. Ngayon, lalaki-babae or queer couples, they can access this contract, love contract, and they can terminate it if they want in the future, but this can be preparatory to marriage. Para even without the blessings of marriage yet, they can already approximate or enjoy an approximation of the rights of marriage.
Yan. Okay. So, well, kailangan maging creative, no? Kasi kung, di ba? Kung masyadong conservative ang national government, I think may space sa various local governments natin. And I think we should try to explore ano yung maaari natin gawin dito sa mga local government.